guys, give me a few seconds. I'm gonna do the audio thingy on my laptop and then we can get started, all right? Let's do this. What's up everyone? Welcome back to my YouTube channel / my podcast. I am the marketing nomad. My name is Prithvi Madhukar. I am the author of 0 to 4 Figures and Self-Love. I'm also a digital entrepreneur and a business owner. A few of the roles that I do take on, I'm a YouTuber, podcaster, Etsy shop owner, and Skillshare teacher as well. All of the links are in the description box below if you'd like to check it out. Welcome to episode 187 of the Ask TMN series, where we're going to be getting into 6 steps to build a profitable online course. Now, if you're new here and you're wondering, well, what's this Ask TMN thing that you just spoke about? So Ask TMN is a series that I created where I answer some of the most commonly asked questions that solopreneurs may have about marketing, business, as well as mindset. Now, if those topics interest you, definitely do hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. I'm laughing because I always mess this up. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, because that tells you every single time I do upload videos like this. Other than that, if you're done watching this video and it has helped you in some way, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. That really helps me help more solopreneurs with their business, marketing, mindset, and just grow the business that they love. Alrighty guys, let's get into the 6 steps that I do have for you to build a profitable online course. So let's get into step number 1. Step number 1 is research. And before you start anything, before you create any kind of product, research is very, very important. And in this point, we're going to get deeper into what do I mean by research and what you should be researching about and how it connects to the online course that you are building out. So when it comes to research, the first step that I usually start with is understanding the different topics that I am knowledgeable about, or I am capable of speaking about, capable of teaching. I have the expertise in that area. So I usually jot down a list of areas that I can teach about, and not just that, I kind of understand which of those topics are actually what my audience wants and needs at that moment in time. So it's not just important that you have areas you're willing to teach about, it also has to be areas that your audience is willing to learn about, is willing to pay the price that you wish to set it for as well. So that is a very important correlation. So when you're doing your research, always try to understand what is it that your audience is looking for. You can also take a look at what your competition is doing and maybe figure out another niche that maybe your competition has overlooked or is not currently in. You can also figure out different ways that you can do things differently from your competition. Maybe there are some aspects of the niche that you've picked that your competition is maybe not hitting the mark with it, or they've approached it in a different way, and you know that your audience wants it in the way that you can teach it. So these are different ways that you can go about with your research, but what's most important is understanding how you can merge your expertise along with what the audience wants and is willing to pay for. Now, another thing that you can do is when you are coming up with an idea for your online course, always take the time to validate it. So that means reaching out to your target audience and perhaps either through a poll. You can put a poll on your social media pages. Try to figure out if whatever content you are going to be putting out is actually something that they are looking for. And you could also get to know what detailing they wish to have in the course that you are setting out. Maybe there are particular topics that you didn't think of adding, but your audience feels it would be helpful for them to understand the topic better. So having that interaction with your target audience is very, very important. Another way that you can validate your course idea, and this is something that has worked really, really well for me, is to keep a lead magnet that relates to the online course that you are putting out. And so if more people are willing to download that lead magnet, again, 1, you are already building your email list for when you are ready for launch. And number 2, it is helping you validate that the topic that you've chosen is actually something that your audience is interested in. So this particular one has helped me a lot. I have done many, many courses. I've created many, many, many online courses in the last 4 years. And I even have a membership program for a year where I would upload one course every single month, and basically doing like creating online courses is something that I can do, and I have like a process for it because I've done it that many times. And so the first step is always the most important, because in my experience that makes or breaks how your online course is going to finally come out to the public. So make sure that you're giving enough time for this particular step. All right, so that is step number 1 for you. Then we come to step number 2, which is course outlining. So in this section, of course, by now, because of step 1, you've figured out what you are knowledgeable in, what is your area of expertise, and you've kind of correlated that to what your audience is looking for. So in step number 2, it's more about detailing that entire course. So how I usually start this out is I write the main topics, okay, that I will be covering in my course. And after I figured out the main topics, I get into maybe 3 or 4 points that I wish to cover in those main topics. And so after I've outlined a rough draft of it, again, I get back in and I actually start briefly scripting each point for it. So this has really helped me because it has given me clarity. It's also helped me understand if there is a flow in the course that I'm creating for the audience. So when you are looking at your course outline, when you're detailing each of the steps, ask yourself, if I were the student and this is how the topics were presented to me, would there be any area that I would feel lost in or confused or just feel like things were going above my head? Now, if you feel that there are certain aspects that you can detail out even more, now's the time to sit down and figure out how would it flow to your audience and how would it flow best for your audience so that they are comfortable with the flow of the course. Now, I know I've said the word like 5 times already, but the flow is very, very important, because the minute there is flow, it really, really contributes to the comprehension and understanding of the topic for your students or for the people who are going to be signing up for your course. And that is very key, because them understanding your course, them feeling comfortable in your course, is how they perceive whether your course is working for them or not. All right. So one thing is, especially when it comes to course outlining, the fundamental question that I ask myself, actually there are 2 questions. The first one we talked about was the flow, but the second that I ask myself is, what is the overall transformation that my students or whoever is signing up for the course is going to go through? So there has to be a transformation for the entire course, right? What those transformations are going to be. There also needs to be a transformation for every single class that you are putting out for that entire course as well. So if lesson number 1, ask yourself, what is point A going to be for my audience? And then they're going to watch that class, and then what is the transformation? What is the point B that they're going to get into? So this whole concept of point A, point B, like point A, transformation, point B, has really helped me as well to understand if maybe the class that I'm putting out, maybe there's not enough transformation, or I have to add more details to it to bring about the transformation that I'm looking for. And also, it's whether or not that transformation is relevant to the overall class or the overall course that I'm setting up. So all of these are very, very important. So for me, when it comes to course outlining, 2 things, all right? One is the flow, and the second is the transformation. Transformation for the entire course, transformation for each class that you are putting out, each main topic, as well as each subtopic as well. There needs to be a transformation. There needs to be a growth in themselves, in their knowledge, in their understanding of the topic. All right? So that is number 2 for you, course outlining. Topic number 3, step number 3. Wow, sometimes it happens, doesn't it? Like you're saying the same word again and again, and you want to say something differently, but then you end up saying the word that's running in your mind. Oh, guys, that's me. Okay, then we come to step number 3, which is logistics. Now, since you are building an online course, there are a couple of things that you need to keep in mind. For me, the simplest way to tackle this question or this step is to ask myself this question: well, how are my students or the people who are signing up going to access it. And so either you put it on a platform where there are other courses and you rely on the SEO of that particular online platform to get you new students. If you have a considerable amount of following, you might want to put it on your website, create courses on the website. So if you're looking into your website or looking into a platform that allows you to sell courses, these are a few things that you have to consider. Do you want an audience that you are bringing, or do you want to rely on the SEO of the platform that you're on to bring in new students for you? All of it really depends on you. I've done both. I've had courses on platforms where I relied on the online platform to bring me new students. I've also had courses on my website where it's me bringing in, like I have to talk about it and I bring students and potential people who are interested in courses like that to my webpage. So you can do it either way. It really depends on you. It depends on what you're comfortable with. It depends on which one is going to bring you the maximum revenue, which one makes sense for you financially, okay? And one thing that I want to say, especially when it comes to logistics, keep the process as simple as possible for your audience, because that, I know a lot of people tend to overlook this, but that can make or break how they feel about your course at the end of it. If it is a trouble for them to sign up for your course, to pay for your course, to actually access the course materials, it's complicated. They're more going to be focused on the frustration that is leading up to the entire process of the learning, rather than understanding how the transformation is helping them. And so you don't want them to feel that way. You want to make sure that they're as comfortable as possible with the entire process. So I would suggest, even having a few beta, students who would give you feedback on how the course is flowing, which is step 2 that we talked about, as well as how easy it was for them to learn and just access the course. So the accessibility and the usability matters a lot, because you don't want the entire experience to be frustrating for them. As much as possible, you want to make sure that accessibility is the least of their concerns. Allow them to focus on learning and building that transformation within themselves, rather than worrying about the accessibility. And another thing that personally has helped me in the past is set clear instructions on how they should access the course. And of course, you'll probably do this a little bit later, but that in my experience has helped people, because if they know, all right, I'm going to expect an email after I sign up, I'm going to get the login for the course after I receive that email, so on and so forth. Making sure those steps, every step is outlined, helps them feel comfortable with the process. Because one thing is that your course is online, right? We are talking about building an online course. So there's a little bit of, I wouldn't say doubt, but there will be a healthy amount of skepticism. I don't know why I struggle with that word. There will be healthy amounts of skepticism, right? Especially when it comes to online materials. I mean, it's the same with you, it's the same with me. And people want to make sure that they are, investing their time and money in something that is going to help them. So when you give them the clarity of instructions, of how and what they can expect when they sign up for the course, that already tells them, it's a very, very subconscious thing that already tells them that you are completely prepared to handle them, to bring them on, and to make the experience as comfortable as possible for them. All right, so I'm just looking down at my notes just to see if we've covered all the points. And one thing that I've written here in my notes is if there are some additional features that you wish to provide, like maybe quizzes, or you want to make sure that you are involving a community, like you want to build a community forum. I've actually done that as well in my membership course. Whatever additional features that you wish to provide, also allow people to understand what they are. Not many people will understand certain terms that are prevalent in the online course community. So try to break it down so that people who aren't course creators also understand what you are talking about with these additional features. And make sure that the platforms that you are choosing have the capabilities to support the additional features that you are looking for your online course. All right, so that is number 3 for you. Number 4 is the actual course creation process, and this for me is my favorite part. Okay, so you can take like a phone. I've actually, in the beginning stages of my online course creating career, I guess I will say, I had to use my phone. At that time I did not have the resources to purchase a camera at that point in time, and I just used it on my phone. Today, many of the phones have a really good quality camera and are sufficient, but of course, make sure that you are in the future planning for better equipment when it comes to your course creation process. In the beginning, I remember I used to do classes on Zoom. So I would create an online course and I would record myself on Zoom, so it would be recording on my laptop, and I've put those as well. So just screen record yourself on Zoom or any of the I don't think you can, I'm not sure if you can record on Google Meet, but I used to do it on Zoom. So I used to record myself on the screen and then upload that as well. So in the beginning, I would say, don't freak out if you don't have the resources to buy better equipment. Start with whatever you do have in that moment of time. Get the product out, and over time, once you have the resources, you can always upgrade your equipment. You can always upgrade the content that you are putting up with the new equipment that you are buying. One thing that I do want to say is when it comes to course creation, yeah, you might not need fancy equipment to get started with, but it is important to factor those things into the prices that you're setting for your course. All right, and it's also important for you to set expectations for your audience and what they can expect when they sign up for your course in terms of the kind of, not just the kind of content they're getting, but the way the content is going to be presented to them. Now, another thing that you have to keep in mind in this stage is understanding whether you just want a talking video or you want to mix it with slides, you want to just do slides and do a voiceover. How do you want the content to be? And for me, the best way that I've asked this question is, what's the best way to teach the course to my audience, and what's the best way that they will be able to comprehend and implement the techniques, the lessons, the strategies that I am putting across. So sometimes for me, it can just be slides and just a voiceover because there's just that much of pictorial content that I wish to share. Sometimes just like these YouTube videos, I've done plain old. So it really depends on you. It also depends on the topic that you have in mind, and it also depends on the best way that your audience can comprehend the lesson that you have for them. All right. Another thing that comes in course creation is editing the entire course. Once you've done creating it, make sure that you are adding in details of the other courses that are available under you. Also lead people to the other courses as well. So that's a little bit of marketing that comes into picture, but it does come in the editing phase of the course creation. Another thing that you would like to work on in the course creation phase is workbooks, or give them assignments, give them projects so that there is something that they can work on. If you have a community forum, you can encourage people to post the projects and to discuss with one another, discuss their thoughts, discuss their idea. Even if you don't have a community forum, but you have like a Facebook group or a LinkedIn group where your entire group of students can actually mingle with each other, interact with each other about the course materials, that's also a really good idea. So making sure that your workbook is actually helping your audience to implement whatever is being taught in the course is very, very important. And workbook creation, yeah, that also takes some time. You can either do it on a platform like Canva, create a PDF, or it can be like some sort of a checklist, some sort of a quiz, so on and so forth. So what are the additional resources that you can give your audience so that they can implement the course even better? And one thing that I do want to say, especially when it comes to course creation, whether you're creating the videos, whether you're doing the workbooks, or you are handing out assignments, projects, or you are building a community, the most important thing is to make sure that your content is engaging. There is some sort of interaction going on, and it's not just about learning. It's also about understanding how can you ask them also to contribute to their own learning. That is very, very important. And for me, in my experience, even as a student of another course, as well as being a course content creator, the best kinds of courses are usually the ones where I am also a part of my own learning, or my students are also a part of their own learning. All right. So those would be coming under step number 4 for you, which is course creation. Then let us come to step number 5, which is your pricing and basically the selling aspect of it. So when it comes to your courses, you want to make sure that your prices are something that feels comfortable for your audience given the value that you are giving them. So if it is a course where it's only DIY, make sure you factor that into your pricing structure. If it is a course where you are heavily involved, maybe you're conducting lives every single week and there is a direct involvement of you, there is a direct interaction with you, factor those little things into your pricing. Understand the price points of your competition, understand why they have that price point, and understand how that correlates to yours. Like if you're giving more features, more benefits, then you might want to price higher. Or if there's more transformation, more value to the transformation that your course is bringing up, again, factor those into your pricing structure. But most importantly, make sure that whatever you are kind of factoring into your pricing structure is actually what the audience values. This is where I definitely do see a lack when it comes to the pricing, or I guess I would say a little bit of a hiccup when it comes to the pricing. It has to be, whatever you're factoring into the pricing has to be things that your audience actually values and feels that they are willing to pay for that particular benefit or that particular feature that you are adding in. All right. And one thing that I've also mentioned over here is when it comes to pricing, there are different ways also that you can go about it after you've decided on the prices. Either people can rent your class, or they can buy your class. You can provide a subscription-based service where, as long, maybe if your course is really, really long and it requires people to work on it for a couple of maybe weeks, then you might want to keep like a subscription base where people access the content for however long they need it to, and they pay you for each week or each month that they want to be a part of it. Or you can even create like a membership like I did, where I just kept putting courses and people signed up for it every single month. They paid money to access all the different kinds of content that were present in my membership program. So there are different ways that you can go about it. What's very, very important is factoring the time that it took you to create as well as the value and the transformation that your course is going to bring about for your audience. Then we come to number 6, which is marketing. So when it comes to marketing, I guess the fundamental is, how are you going to let more people know about whatever course that you're putting up? And more importantly, how are you going to convey the value and the benefit of signing up for that course? A few things that you can do is provide a preview of your course, maybe lesson 1, and then if they wish to understand more about the topic, they will sign up for your course. You can maybe even do like a $1 preview in case you want to make sure that people are actually serious about buying your course. They just want to take a look. That could also be the case. And a few other things that you can do is create a video with just plain old question and answers that you have about your course, like the frequently asked questions. Just create a video. And the reason why I say create a video rather than putting it as like a Q&A section on your webpage is because with the Q&A that you're going to do as a video format, people are going to understand your behavior. They're going to understand your personality. They're going to understand the way that you speak. And subconsciously, they will also make the decision whether or not they align with the way that you are teaching, the way that you speak, the way that you convey information. and that itself will help them make that purchase decision a lot faster, basically. So give them a preview of who you are and how you are as well. Another thing that you can do is you can run promotions during specific periods of the year. You can also have collaborations with other online course creators, maybe in different fields, but you guys have the same target audience. You can promote their course, they can promote your course. You can also have them as a guest course creator on yours. I've done that for my membership program as well. I've reached out to other online course creators. So my membership program I don't have it anymore. I just want to be clear about that. It was for solopreneurs, and I would personally handle the business and marketing aspect, but there was also the different kinds of niches that I did not tap into. So I would collaborate with other online creators, and they would have guest lectures on my particular membership program. Like, for example, one of them taught NLP, so on and so forth. So if that's something that interests you, you can definitely do that. And once you start getting your reviews, but before that, I do want to say that you need to have a structure where you are requesting reviews, you are requesting testimonials. They can be the video testimonials, written testimonials. Give them some incentive to leave a review. So once you've set up a system for that, like maybe have an email sent out after the second week, and then another email sent out after a month, so on and so forth. So make sure that you're keeping in some sort of structure, system, and process over there to get reviews and testimonials from your students, from the people who have signed up for your course. That's very, very important. Another thing post that is to make sure that you are sharing those reviews and testimonials, because sometimes the people who are looking at your course, they just need that little bit of edge, that little bit of confirmation that your course is actually doing what it said it would. And how do you do that? Through reviews and testimonials. All right, so that would be number 6 for you. Make sure that you're posting on all of your platforms as well. Make sure that you're talking about it from time to time and explaining what are the benefits, what's the transformation, what are the features of your course, so on and so forth. So that is number 6 for you, marketing. In conclusion, just to wrap up this entire podio, I do want to say that the course topic that you choose doesn't have to be complicated. This is actually a very big lesson that I personally learned. When I started out, I had this thought in me that I had to pick up the most complicated topic and, just, show off my expertise and my knowledge in that. What I've come to understand is, and this was very, very surprising for me, actually, the topics that felt simple to me were the ones that took off to a different level. And the reason is, whatever complicated topics you have, sometimes those might go, those might be working out for you. But when you are able to do something that feels simple to you, most likely that is your area of expertise. You have created a process that works for you, and you never know how that process could actually be really unique and might work for other people like you. So what I've come to understand is, especially when you're looking for course topics, so on and so forth, it doesn't have to be the most complicated topic. Even the most simplest topics explained in a way that is, to the point, concise, and with absolutely clear steps, even those can do wonders. Remember what I said, focus on the transformation. Focus on the transformation. It doesn't have to be a complicated subject. Even if you were to teach people how to create PDFs that, you can do the fillable aspects, even that is a big transformation. You never know. That might actually be something that most people are struggling with, and they were looking for those little tips, so on and so forth. So that was just an example. But in my experience, even the simplest things, if you show them your perspective and the way that you do it, you never know, even those could work out as well. And something that I've written over here is, something that feels easy and natural to you might actually be difficult for someone else. And so when you are explaining it the way that you show up, again, you are teaching them a new way of looking at it. Perhaps that's something that was missing for the topic to feel easy and comfortable for them as well. All right. So don't underestimate what feels easy and simple for you. It might not be like that for someone else. And that works for something else as well. The courses that you see, perhaps those things felt easy and natural to them. But the reason why you are attending that course is because maybe there was some aspect of it that you couldn't connect well by yourself and you needed that little bit of help. So don't underestimate that, okay? Don't underestimate the things that feel easy and natural and simple to you, because that might actually be something that someone else is struggling with, okay? And another thing that I've written here in my conclusion is always get feedback. Always, always, always get feedback for whatever product it is, not just the online course, but it's very, very important for you to get feedback for anything, and periodic feedback, and keep tweaking your course. Don't just have it and then leave it there. No, keep tweaking it, keep improving yourself. You can either keep improving that same particular course, keep tweaking it. That's also something that you can do. You can also make sure that you're getting in that feedback for your next courses and keep getting better at it. And of course, if you are getting better at it, that means that the price is also going to go up a little, right? So don't forget that. So, and yeah, basically the entire topic was to build a profitable course. So ensuring that, it is actually becoming a profitable course. One of the ways, keep improving on it. All right, that brings me to the end of this podeo. If you did like this podeo and it helped you in some way, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, hit that subscription button, hit that notification bell, and that notification bell will tell you every single time I do upload podeos like this, and I do upload a couple of these every single week. Other than that, if you want to catch my 2 books, they are available on Amazon. My first book is 0 to 4 Figures, Lessons Learned by a Broke CEO. Now that book is basically a book on digital entrepreneurship. So if you're starting out with digital entrepreneurship, or you're in it for quite some time, you want some help with self-love, relationships, business strategy, marketing, growth mindset, positive mindset, success mindset, then yes, this book is absolutely for you. Other than that, you can catch my second book, which is Self-Loved. It is a compilation of 1,000 journal prompts aimed towards healing, growth, and self-discovery. And it covers topics like inner child healing, trauma healing, manifestation, gratitude, so on and so forth. That is also available on Amazon. Other than that, I have a set of productivity planners, journals, and trackers. At the moment of publishing this podeo, there are 18 of them available. Now, this is actually called the Simple Series by The Marketing Nomad, and they are also available on Amazon. Now, the simplest way to find all of my stuff on Amazon is to search my name. My full name is Prithvi space Madhukar, Prithvi Madhukar. Once you do that, you're going to get an author page for me, and all of the stuff is just going to show up, and then you can decide which one is something that you are looking for. All right, guys, and of course, I do want to say that if you have any thoughts about this video, please do leave your comments in the comment section below. Other than that, if you have any questions that you'd like me to answer in another video, please feel free to do so. If you want a more one-on-one interaction with me, I am there on Instagram at The Marketing Nomad. Alrighty, guys, I'll catch you in my next podeo. Bye-bye.